Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope you're all doing really well. We made it. We made it to Friday. It's the weekend. Almost. My name is Cheney. I'm a first-year high school teacher in the state of Oklahoma. I teach Latinx studies. I'm also a PhD student and I'm a new mom. So if you're into that kind of content, if it calls to you, I would love it if you considered subscribing. Just hit that little button, hit the notification bell. You know, leave me a little comment, leave me a little like. Welcome back to those of you who have been here before, or welcome to those of you who are new. Please join the family. Today's Friday. I think I've said that maybe like 5 times by now. We had a 3-day week this week. Monday and Tuesday, my kids were out because teachers had PD Monday and Tuesday, so there were no kids. This week has just been flying by, probably because it's only been 3 days, and we're starting a new project, so there's that. I wanted to do like a detailed day in my life as a high school teacher. I know I've mostly been doing weekly vlogs, which doesn't get into kind of like the nitty-gritty of what I do every day, but I'm gonna try to make it as real, unedited, and like honest as possible. And that means like recording myself teaching, which I haven't done before. It's a little bit challenging, and I'll tell you why. It's challenging because I don't have a desk in my classroom. I have a pod, and so I share that pod with 3 other teachers who are in and out of the pod, using that pod to work. And it's hard for me to film in there and just like talk to the camera because I don't want to disturb their workspace. I did make myself a makeshift desk, and I have a little podium that I've kind of set up as my little desk recently. Like, it's not anything that I've established, so doing this without calling attention to the fact that I am filming myself and not, you know, making it super clear to my students that I'm like doing something, it's gonna be a little bit challenging. Mama, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. Here we go. I still have to change the date on my board, so today is November 5th. That's from yesterday, but their objective is up there. I can identify how Oklahoma history has been influenced by Hispanic culture. The agenda for today is their journal, which I call a bocadito because it's just 5 sentences, so it's like a little, you know, a little something, a little bite of something. Then we do a mini lesson, and then they go into collaboration. I will try to explain their project this week to you in a little while. Their criteria for success. So this is a list of things that they can check off every day to be successful in my class each day. And this is not 51 sentences. Here's their journal for today. Do you believe in second chances? Why or why not? When do you draw the line on giving chances? So that just has them practicing writing in my class every single day. Due dates over here. So November 10th, they have the history of the Southside poster due. I will try my best to carve out some time today. It might not even be till my 6th hour or lunchtime to like sit down and explain exactly what our project is this week, because I'm so excited about it, and they're also really loving it, which is nice. It makes me feel like I'm doing a good job at what I do, and I love what I do, so it makes everything just feel better. I'm excited. Today's Friday. I'm ready to go. It is currently 7:52, so the bell's gonna ring at any minute. I feel like the bell rings sometimes at 7:55, sometimes 7:53. I really don't know when it's gonna ring, but it will ring at some point. But school starts at 8. They gotta be in here at 8. Everybody in my first hour is always late. I got like 3 students who are here on time for first hour every day. I have like 10 students in my first hour. Everybody else come in late. Let's go. Let's get this day started. I'm currently getting my TV set up. We're not actually using a PowerPoint today, so I'm gonna put on, this is a smart TV, which I just figured out last week. We're like 2 months into school, but I'm gonna use YouTube to look for a playlist, music playlist, set the mood. Sometimes I do lo-fi, sometimes I do banda, sometimes I do salsa. It just depends on what the mood is today. I feel like it's Friday, so I need something a little bit upbeat. This is what I chose. It's a nice visual, and I think the playlist is Café Cubano. I'm not sure, but this is nice. It's not too upbeat, but it's still chill. It gives a nice little background here, so I really like this one. Y'all, it's Friday! Y'all aren't excited about that?
About what?
Jimena said no. Why? Because you work? Today's Black Friday? What?
No, it's not.
Yes, I work at Walmart. How you gonna tell me no, it's not?
Gabriel.
Sit
down. Go sit down before I call your mama. All right. Let me get you up here real quick. Any questions? Any urgent, dire questions that you have for me?
Do you have water?
Do I have water? No. Is Scarlett here? Scarlett, what are you gonna do for your birthday? You're having a quince on the 27th? What?
I saw this thing on TikTok and I asked my sister, if you're going 60 miles per hour, how far would you go in an hour? And she didn't know. She kept saying like 10, 20 miles.
Nuh-uh.
A big girl.
Was she trying to do the math in her head or what?
Yeah. She was so lost.
Did you finally give it to her, the answer?
Yeah.
Scarlett, but what are you gonna do this weekend? Because your birthday is Sunday.
If you're going 60 miles per hour, how far would you go in an hour?
You're gonna go around? How come every time I ask y'all, what are y'all doing for your birthday, you're like, I don't know. I'm gonna go eat. What are you gonna eat? I don't know. Which is? Where? It's not the restaurant that you allegedly know the owners of? You should go there. You might get free food if you know the owners. I'm grading your journals today from last week and this week. So that's 7 journals. You had 4 last week, 3 this week. If you need to catch up on journals or go back to a date from sometime between now and last Monday, everything is listed out on Google Classroom, so you can find it there. All the prompts from last week and this week. I'm gonna call you up, I'll grade them, then I'll give them back to you. But as I'm grading your journals, I want you to either focus on getting those questions answered, and if you have them done in your Google Doc, there's a space in the classroom for you to just upload that real quick. Keeps us all organized. I can see it and you can see it. The other thing you're working on today is looking for 4 to 5 pictures that represent, in a nice historical way, your topic, whatever that is. So if it's a place, if you're doing Little Flower, it would be, this is just an example. It would be really nice to have a picture of what it looked like back then, like a nice black and white picture, maybe of a mass. I know there's pictures of some masses that they've done in the past, and then like recent pictures to kind of get that big idea of how it was and how it's changed over the years maybe. Does anybody have urgent or dire questions that you need to ask me right now?
Urgent or dire?
Urgent, dire, same thing. I was redundant.
Alright.
I'm doing really great. Thank you for asking. Are you happy that it's Friday?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do this weekend? I also need to watch some shows, but I never do. What are you watching right now? Is it anime? You know, okay, the first anime show that I've watched, which I really liked, was this one called Parasite. Have you seen that one? It's only 1 season. It was weird and kind of creepy, but it was good. Anyway, I've never watched any more anime after that, but I should. It's currently lunchtime and we have Food Truck Fridays here at lunchtime, and I sure did get me some nachos. I'm trying to eat them as quickly as I can because the bell's gonna ring at any minute. But I waited a good 35 minutes for these because they were just really slow today. I was like, is this worth it? Is this worth it? But yeah, it kind of is. It kind of is. My 5th hour just left. I always get a kick because Fridays, like every other Friday, I grade their journals in class. So I call them up and I call them up in like clusters so that I can grade 4 to 5 at a time, and I read them all, and they're always, every time, even though they know that I read them, they're always like, oh, miss, you read them? Yes, I read them, and I leave comments and all the things. And Sorry, somebody's got somebody else in a chokehold in the other classroom over there, but I think they're just playing. I hope so anyway. So I was reading one, I'm gonna share it with you actually. These girls they're friends and they always do everything together. They're like attached at the hip. Hold on. I love reading their journals because sometimes they just come up with the funniest things. So for our journal today, I showed you that the prompt is, do you believe in giving second chances? Why or why not? And then what is the line that you draw in terms of giving second chances or chances? You like give third, fourth, fifth chances? Like at what point do you just say no more chances? And this little girl, she's actually very sweet. She said, yes, everyone needs a second chance, like her friend. I won't say her name. I'll say, I'm gonna say Bethany. Like Bethany. Her old man needs to give her another chance because she misses him, I guess. We can't trust him though. He's a catfish. And then she put in parentheses, oh, Bethany gave him 8 chances. So why can't he give her one? I cannot with these kids. I was dying and I called them both over here and I was like, I have questions, like who is this old man? Cause I assumed that she meant her boyfriend, because I know like some people call their partner, oh that's my old man, that's my old lady. I got that from Sons of Anarchy. She was like, oh no, not an old man, her ex. And I was like, I know what you meant, but I see that you thought that I meant that you said he was an old man or whatever. Anyway, then she was like, oh no, he's a reverse catfish. I'm like, what's a reverse catfish? He's like ugly in his pictures and he's cute in real life. And she was like, yeah. And Bethany was like, yeah. Anyway, the other thing is that last week, because last week was Halloween, and so all of my journal prompts were like spooky Halloween related, and one of them was asking them to write about the first scary movie they remember watching, how old were they, and if they remember getting scared. So many, I want to say 80% of my students wrote about seeing Chucky for the first time as the first scary movie they remember watching. And when they continue to write like how old they were like, yeah, I watched Chucky at 4, 5, 6. I'm like, what 4-year-old is watching Chucky? One of my students in like my 3rd hour, she wrote that she watched Saw for the first time at 5, the movie Saw. I'm like, what 5-year-old is watching Saw and walking away okay, you know? And I joked with her, I was like, is that why you are the way you are? She said, yup. I got this, which is a lot bigger than I thought it would be. This is what I'm sipping on right now. This is called a mango bomba. There's no alcohol in this. This is school appropriate. One of the trucks, which hasn't been here yet this year, they have elote, they have some other things I can't remember exactly. Mango nada, and this is a mango bomba, which has like a mango sorbet scoop in it, chile. It's delicious, it's so good. Anyways, my 5th hour, I didn't get around to grading all of their journals, so that's what I'm gonna do now. I have a stack right here of journals that I'm gonna grade because I want to go home today with nothing to worry about in terms of grading. I don't want to worry about grades during the weekend. I want to enjoy this weekend. I feel like this week hasn't necessarily been a bad week. It's just been really exhausting. I feel kind of exhausted and I just want to relax. I just kind of want to do nothing. I do have a birthday party tomorrow. I'm gonna get this done. We're gonna have a great time. We got 1 hour left. 7th hour is the last hour, my second rowdiest hour. We're gonna get through this.
Who I call if it ain't you? Tell me who to call if it ain't you. I've been pacing circles in my bedroom. I've been chasing secrets in your heirloom. Let me do what I do best. Slow down, let me talk to you. Don't tell me about your worries. I ain't staying till the afternoon. I liked you in proximity, but now they're so far from the.
I to show you, or not to show you because I don't really have anything to show you unless you want to pause it and read the whole assignment. But my students this week are doing a history of the south side of Oklahoma City. Southside Oklahoma City has a really diverse Latino population that is not taught about in Oklahoma history as a course. It's not in the curriculum. At least I don't think that it is. What we're doing in our class is telling that history for the first time and how Latinos have influenced Oklahoma culture. So for example, like Oklahoma's cowboy and Western culture comes directly from Mexican immigrants who came into Indian Territory in the early 1900s, who were most often hired by cattle ranchers because they had lots of experience. And so a lot of that goes into the history of Oklahoma, but it's not taught. So they are teaching it and writing it, creating it for the first time. So each student is making a poster and they are doing the history of the South Side through looking at timelines and iconic places and people and organizations and churches here on the south side that are really important cultural spaces for the community at large. They're really excited about it, honestly, and I didn't know how they were going to feel about it, but I'm really happy and it makes me motivated. It makes me feel like I'm doing a good job at what I do, and I love what I do. So when they are enjoying it, it makes me really happy. They're working on that this week, and today they were looking at pictures and choosing pictures that they would like to include in the history of the South Side depending on what their topic is. Next Wednesday we'll be putting everything that they find and have created and pulled together to make a poster, and then we'll be putting all of those posters out into the school as kind of a mini museum exhibit. My 6th hour just left and I'm actually just, everything is everywhere. Also, let me turn off the music because it gets annoying. Not my 6th hour, my 7th hour just left, and I just looked at my emails on my computer and I have to respond to an email to my instructional coach. Our school lends us work computers, which I think is really great, and I appreciate that and I'm grateful for it because I have a 2013 MacBook, which works fine most of the time, but I just prefer not to use it. It's just, she's old. She's reliable, but she's old and she needs to rest. So instead of using her all day, I use my work computer, but it's also not the best. So let me just show you real quick. So when they gave it to me, it had these kind of like cracks in it. And it's like, whatever, you know, but if I push down on this one side too hard, like it actually does stuff. It's like if I clicked the mouse, but I didn't. So I can't put too much pressure on that one corner. And then it recently just started turning off by itself at random times if I don't have it charging all the time. In order to alleviate that problem, I just leave it plugged in all the time, because if I don't, I run the risk of it just shutting off whenever. I need to reply to an email because my instructional coach put in some feedback for me. Our school uses Whetstone, I think it's called. She put in some feedback there because they do go through our grade book and make sure that we're hitting 1 to 3 grades every week. And at the end of November to October 1st, I had 7 grades in my grade book. And so now I need to send her a quick email explaining that my students turned in a really big project and each part of the project was its own grade, and it was due on October 1st, which is why there's 7 grades and not 1 to 3. She wasn't getting on to me for it. It's not negative feedback. It's just, it says please adjust moving forward. I just want to make sure that she knows why, and not thinking that I am overloading my students with work and doing 7 grades per week. So I just want to clarify. I don't know about anybody else, but the least favorite part of my day is cleaning off the board. Like erasing all the things I have to erase. I don't know why. Like, I'm doing it, but I just, for some reason, putting my room back together after a day and then at the end of the week, if you're a teacher, you know, by the end of the week, you really do gotta put your room back together because it just be looking a mess. My room is not too crazy, but over there I have journals that I need to put back. I got my little makeshift desk podium over there. I got a random game that I need to put up, and I got journals here that I need to put up, and then journals over there that fell out of the cabinet. And I also need to go through, see my third hour. They do a really good job at keeping their stuff nice and organized, except for this random one that's laying down. My 5th and 7th hour looks like that. To go in here too and just organize it, even though it doesn't stay like that for very long. I just want to put it back together. All right, just let me live my life. I have a student, I won't show his name. He writes all of his journals on paper towels because it's the only way that I can get him to turn it in and actually do it. For some reason, he's anti-paper, but pro paper towel. He says, and just because of that, I'm gonna read what he said about today's journal. I choose my friends by how they are, what they do, and don't tell me to do things I'm not supposed to do. And I also make sure they have a good mindset. The last thing I'm doing is turning the lights off that I have around my board, locking my door. There's a random hoodie up there. Do you see this? There's a random hoodie up there. It's been up there since yesterday. I thought for sure somebody will come back and get it today. It's a regular, degular school hoodie. Putting that in my big closet because, oh my gosh, there's another hoodie. And we're out. We are out of here. We're gonna go home. We're gonna figure out what we're doing tonight. Meech and the baby are already at home, ready for the weekend.
My love language is your time and attention. Won't you give some of it to me? I've been lonely lately. I've been feeling neglected, and I want you to show me. Can we get back on the same page?
It's now 9:56. I feel a little bit dead, to be honest. I think when I left it was 4:30. Picked up Meech and the baby. They were already at home. Meech got out early. He picked up the baby. We went to Walmart because the baby's turning 1. He turns 1 next Saturday, and we're having a party here with family and close friends. So we're getting things ready. We're buying some of his presents for him to open for his first birthday, and little like goodies for all the other kids that are coming to celebrate with him. We worked on that together. By the time we came home, it was dark already. The baby was fighting his sleep, so we went upstairs and I gave him a bottle and put some nice baby music on the TV, and we just laid in bed and I tried to get him calmed down and ready to go down, and we rocked together and sang together, and he finally fell asleep. I'm assuming that most people who watch this video or are interested in this content are also teachers. So if you are a teacher, you know how it is when Friday night comes around. Your energy is just like, you're just ready to go home and go to sleep, and that's how I feel right now. I just feel dead, like I need to go to bed. I did make myself a little house margarita. I think I'm going to wrap up the vlog, but I really hope that you enjoyed seeing what a real life day is like for me as a high school teacher. Sometimes it's a little bit chaotic. Today went pretty smoothly. Some days are more challenging and some days are better, and this was kind of middle of the road, just real and honest. Nothing extremely exciting or extremely challenging happened today, but I do hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. You can find me over on Instagram if you'd like to stay in touch over there. I post on my story pretty regularly. My handle on Instagram is Fry Bread Scholar. I'll link it down below. I would love it if you consider subscribing. I would love to see you again. Just hit that little subscribe button, hit that little like button, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.